welcome to the Later Bloomer, the podcast where we talk all things life over 50, because midlife isn't the end, it's the start of something brand new. I'm Victoria, and today I'm joined by the lovely friend Alison. She's in her 50s, mum, a woman who's lived a full life, and now she's investigating her next chapter as a proud recovering alcoholic. But because before we go into that and her journey, we're diving into all things that come with being a woman over 50: jobs, motherhood, menopause, the moment the house goes quiet, and figuring out what we want now. So let's get straight into it. So, Alison, let's start with the basics. How does being in your 50s feel at the moment for you?
Probably feels like the best decade of my life.
Yeah, great.
Absolutely.
I feel the same. I feel absolutely the same. Yeah. So, um, what were your expectations of life in your 50s, and sort of like how do you compare them to the reality and what you thought they were going to be?
Oh gosh.
I know.
Um, Probably when I was younger, when I was younger, my mum wasn't even 50 yet, and I thought she was
Yeah.
old, and she was probably,
Yeah.
35, 40.
Yeah.
And I guess when we look at our 50s, when we're women,
Mm,
when we're young, we
yeah.
think, okay, I'll either have a good career or I'll be married, I'll
Yeah.
have children, the
Yeah.
usual societal expectation.
Yeah.
Um, and I did none of that other than have one child.
Okay, so
Um,
let's talk about that. So tell us a bit about your work life, how you've changed careers or roles in recent years, obviously going into your 50s then.
I worked in retail management when I left school, loved it, always been a leader,
Mm,
always led and managed people.
yeah.
So I did that. And then my main career, I worked in insurance.
Yeah.
So it was mainly call center,
Yeah.
reactive, proactive, team
Yeah.
leader,
Yeah.
manager, um, managing the actual operation itself. So that was really my main occupation,
Yeah.
working in insurance, which I enjoyed.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that sounds good. I was at agency, so I know all about the estate agency. So it
Oh,
was
okay.
again that sort of similarity than the insurance as well, remortgage and
Hmm.
mortgages, etc. So yeah, I get that sort of career plan. That's what I was sort of on the same path, if you see what I mean.
Hmm. Yeah.
So tell us a bit about the confidence you have now than you did in your 30s and 40s. How did you get that confidence?
I have always been confident.
Yeah,
So
you have a
I
lot
guess
of it.
I guess I've been lucky. When I was younger, I my parents were Salvation Army officers.
Yeah.
I was born in Scotland, and so we moved around a lot.
Ah,
So I went to 13 different schools. So the schools
wow.
I know the schools I had to go to, I had to make friends.
I was just about to ask, how did you cope with making all the friends? Because obviously it's really hard. I changed two schools and it was hard enough, but 13, crikey.
So I just got used to leaving friends behind and
Yeah.
making new ones, leaving friends behind and making new ones. And I did
Mm,
that until I was 13 and we moved to Canterbury,
mm,
so southeast. And then I was able to make some stable relationships with
mm,
friends.
mm.
And as I say, that gave me confidence.
Mm.
That
And
gave me,
did you find it hard? Because obviously you've had loss then, because obviously changing all these schools and losing your friends, it's a lot of loss. It feels like a loss. And
mm,
then obviously coming into Canterbury, you changed schools again, and you were able to keep your friends. So again, that sort of did you sort of think it was a bit of insecurity, just a little bit, sort of saying, "Am I going to lose them again?" Was it that sort of thing? Because
no,
obviously it is a loss losing your friends from the previous schools.
it is a loss, and I guess you could say in my later 20s, I sort of
Yeah,
looked back and thought, I remember this person or I remember that person, but it was
yeah,
my life, so we were used to it. We
yeah.
knew what our family
I
was
get it.
about, so we
Yeah.
knew at any time the Salvation Army could move us. But
Mm.
actually, the Salvation Army is a lot different now. They allow families to stay for the whole of the primary, for the whole of the secondary, so that the children aren't disrupted. Brass band, very religious. So where the Salvation Army sent them,
Yeah,
we had to go. So it was similar to the normal army.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
But how did you find the religious side of things then? Are you very religious now, or how have you found it now later on in life, obviously from then until going into your 50s?
um, well, I believe in God.
Yeah,
I probably left God for a little while when I
mm,
was drinking, and I guess we'll get to that soon.
we will.
Um, and Yeah, I believe in God now. I
Yeah,
don't go to church every Sunday. In fact, I can't remember the last time I went to church, but
but
that
that
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter, does it? That doesn't matter. Exactly the same feeling as you. As long as you've got him in your heart and you pray,
Hmm.
whether it's like in church or without church, doesn't matter. Doesn't
And
matter.
I also think because when we get past 50,
Mm.
I think we rid ourselves of people that no longer serve us anymore,
Yeah,
don't we? We get to that point, okay,
absolutely.
and I think then you're not putting up with any BS from
Yeah,
people.
no,
And
absolutely not.
you just become uh you just don't put up
Stronger,
with,
stronger. You're
stronger.
not going to take any
Yeah.
shit from anybody because you have previously, and it's basically drawn and sucked the life out of you. And I think you
Mm,
get to 50 and you think, no, I'm not having that anymore. I need me time. The
absolutely.
children, we will go into that. The children have flown the nest, for instance, and you just think, it's me time now. Why should
Hmm.
I then take all of them, the phone calls of blah blah, and you're just thinking it's sucking the life out of me. And the people that are fake, and coming to you, you know they're fake, but you still carry on. But now we don't. Do you find
Hmm.
that with the children
Well,
flying the nest and things like that? You just like that's it. I
mm,
need me
me
time.
mine hasn't flown the nest yet. So I
Oh,
was a late bloomer. I was 38 when I had my daughter, and I'm
were
55
you?
now.
Ah,
Mm,
brilliant. Ah,
yeah,
brilliant.
so
There's
she's
a lot of that nowadays, to be honest. There's a
mm,
lot of it because they're doing their career or they're just I don't know, my one's 28. She's very
mm,
broody, but she's doing so many other things. She's not ready for it yet. And she's saying, "Well, I
mm,
do want them. I'm going to have them in the
mm,
future, but just not yet." And that's fair enough, isn't it? It's fair enough.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do what you want. The other child, my other daughter, she doesn't want them at all. Fair enough. Don't have them.
that's right.
Yeah, yeah.
She's 17. Her name's Grace. And
Grace.
yeah, so but I am in that transition period. So she's off to university next year. So I'm in the transition period, which I'm sure a lot of women
Mm,
are at my age, over
mm,
50,
yeah,
where you're not needed as much,
yeah,
you're needed less, and you have to get used to that. And that's what I'm getting used to at the moment.
yeah,
She can book her own tickets to go to a
yeah,
gig now. She can go on her own. She's started her
yeah.
driving lessons. So that's
Oh
the stage
goodness,
I'm
when
at.
she starts driving, she'll really be off.
Exactly, which is
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Oh God, it's great for them. For us, it's like, okay, you can go.
Yeah.
Go. I love the fact that you're going, but oh, you don't need me.
Mm,
It
mm,
is a bit
yeah.
like that, isn't it? So do you go away often, like on holidays?
All the time.
Do you tell me about those? Tell me.
Um, oh gosh. I've been to in the 90s, I went to New Zealand for 3 months.
Wow.
I went to Ibiza 4 times, party girl.
Yeah. Love
The
that.
last the last the year up until from 49 to reaching 50, I did
Mm.
something new that I'd never done before every month.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
I'm one
love
of
that.
those. I went to Marbella with a friend for a few days. I go to Cyprus, I'm going to Malta. I have a lot of holidays in this country because I have dogs.
Yeah.
So I have been to a lot of places
So
and
you really are a
Lisbon, Portugal.
go-getter, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah, yeah. I love the fact that you've got the traveling inside you. I wish I could, but too many responsibilities at home right now. But
Oh,
I think in the future, whether it be my 60s, I'm going to be off and I will be doing the traveling.
mm. Yeah, yeah, I love going away.
Yeah,
And the thing is, even, if you do have children, I have three dogs as well. You
yeah,
have to have a break. You
yeah.
have to take self-care.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. So how do you take self-care? Tell me.
I have facials.
Lovely.
Um, I'm going to see Peter Kay next weekend, so I'm
Are
driving up
you?
to
I love
Birmingham.
him.
Yeah, I'm driving up to Birmingham for the weekend.
Yeah,
I go down and see my friends in Canterbury for the weekend.
yeah,
So, I do lots of different things, but I also love being on my own. So I love my
yeah,
own time. So I balance that with my
yeah,
friends.
yeah. Oh, that's really cool. No, that's excellent. So, do you go to gigs and festivals and things like that as well?
I don't necessarily go to festivals. I've been to a few
Yeah,
Hyde Park, Robbie Williams. I've been to see Boyzone. I've been to see Take That.
yeah.
I've been to see Ed Sheeran. I'm going to see Wet in October. I've been
Oh,
to
I'm getting
lots of
quite jealous now.
I've been to lots of musicals. My daughter does musical theatre, so
Yeah, yeah.
uh, I've been to
Does
loads of
she?
musicals. Yeah, she does. She's studying musical theatre.
Is that what she's doing? Brilliant.
Mhm.
Oh, bless her. That's great. And she's doing well in it.
Yeah, fabulous. Really good.
Oh, oh,
Yeah, she's really enjoying
fantastic.
it.
Oh, I love that. So let's get into the horrible big M, menopause. Have you gone through that yet? Are you doing that? Are you coming into it?
I have. I went into it when I was 45,
Right.
and I came out of it when I was 55 last year.
Oh,
So
really?
10 years. I've been there, done it, worn the t-shirt.
10 years is a long time though, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. How did you
Yeah.
find it?
Frustrating.
Yeah.
Uh, Not many people understanding why you get angry for no
No,
reason.
no.
Sleepless nights,
Yeah.
that which then makes it worse. Eating
Yeah.
lots, putting on loads of weight,
Oh, yeah.
especially if you take HRT. It's like going on the pill when you're eight. When I was 18, I went on the pill and I put loads of weight on, and it's the same with HRT. There must be something in it which goes, okay, you can eat now. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I put about 3 stone on
Oh gosh, you wouldn't
in
think of it
menopause.
now. Yeah. Wow.
Um, and
Yeah,
I've
I
lost
put
that
weights
now.
on with it. I've put
Yeah.
on weight with it, yeah, previously, but I'm out of it now. But yeah,
Mhm.
I did back then. Yeah. Oh goodness. So you came out of it the other end though.
Yes. Uh, and I'm much happier now. And it's not brilliant to go through, It's not good.
Yeah, yeah.
It's life changing.
But unfortunately, us women have to go through it.
We do. We
We
do.
have
We
no
do.
choice, which is
No.
awful. I like choices. I do like choices in life, and you sound like you've got choices. So whatever you want to do, you've got the choice whether you want to do it or not, and I love that.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's either,
yeah,
um, yeah, I do. I don't do what I want every day, but
yeah,
I balance my life, and I think
yeah,
that's what it's about. You
yeah,
balance your
yeah.
life, you work, you know,
And what do
and
you
you make.
work as? Are you still in insurance?
I'm not at the moment.
Tell me what you're
I
into.
Well, I've actually stopped working because I look after my mum. She has vascular dementia,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I
so I do
get
that
that
full
because
time at
I'm
the
looking
moment.
after my mother-in-law. She lives with us.
Mm.
Yeah.
But I am studying as well at the moment.
Yeah. What you studying?
Somatic trauma informed
Yeah.
positive
Wow.
positive psychology addiction, and to become
Oh,
an addiction therapist with trauma and positive psychology.
oh, Alison, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. And of course, when did you start that? I mean, that you're in your 50s now and you started that. I mean, that's fantastic as well. Did you
last
suddenly go,
week.
right, I need more from this. I need more from work, and I've got a passion for that. Passion for trauma, passion for the psychological side of it, and think, how did you get into it? What was your thinking behind that?
Well, first and foremost, I started my TikTok,
Mm.
Sobriety My Story,
I was going to go
in
into that.
yeah, in January.
Yeah.
So, but the main reason,
Mm.
alongside other reasons, is that
Mm.
my mum's not going to be around forever. So I'm
No.
looking after her full time now. So I
Yeah.
have to think, okay, in a couple of years' time or in a year's time, I need to start doing something that I'm going to be able to do full
Mm.
time, but I can do it part time to
Yeah.
start off with to build a
Yeah.
business so that when I need to, and my mum's no longer with us, which, is going to
Mm.
happen.
Mm.
So I need to look at what my future looks like. And that's
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's magnificent. I really, really admire that. I totally get it. I wish I could sort of have that. Unfortunately, my husband's not well at the moment, so I can't even think like what it would be like for that
Mm,
situation
mm,
at the moment. But as I say, she's living with us at the moment. She's got all her faculties. In
mm,
fact, it was my husband and I. We weren't very well, and we were lying in bed going, "Can we have a cup of coffee?" And she's
mm,
92. She's running around getting us a cup of coffee and a cup of
mm.
tea. Oh,
Oh,
she
bless
was
her.
great. Yeah. So look, let's get into the alcohol side of things, and the nitty gritty of that. How did you get into drinking alcohol then? First of all, first and foremost.
Well, I guess when you're a teenager,
Yeah.
it's a
I was
given,
going to
isn't
say
it?
the same. Yeah.
And I started going to parties when I was 14, as much as I was still in the Salvation
Wow.
Army. And when you're in the Salvation Army, you don't drink, take drugs, or
No.
have sex before marriage. So they're the
Yeah.
rules.
Yeah, of course.
So my parents never drank. Um, so yeah, I started going to parties. It started making me feel good. It wasn't for confidence or anything like that because I was
No.
already confident enough.
Yeah.
I just enjoyed being a party girl.
Yeah. And did your parents find out or
Probably as when I was older, they found
not
out
at
because
14? You got
no,
away
not
with
at
it.
14. I did, and then we went to, people were hitting 16 and having parties, and
Mm.
so that's when it began when I was
Do you
14.
think at 14 it was like a rebellious thing? Was it a
I think I
rebellious
was just
thing?
possibly rebellion against
Or
what I
peer pressure?
no, I don't think it was peer pressure. I think it was rebellion against what I wasn't
Mm.
allowed to do.
Yeah,
So because I wasn't allowed to do it, I wanted to do it.
yeah, that is absolutely because I found that, and I thought with my children, obviously being very careful, but I would talk to them about things. So if they wanted to
Mm,
do anything like that, because there was a lot of peer pressure and smoke this cigarette or have a drink. And I said
uh-huh.
to them, look, if you're going to do that, then do it sensibly because you're going to do it anyway.
Hmm.
But can we do it sensibly? And can we like really talk about this because and how it's going to affect you? That's how I was with it, with the
Oh,
kids.
okay.
Yeah, I've
Uh-huh.
got three. And yeah, the school was rife, absolutely rife with with drugs and drink and smoking, everything. So I had to really talk to them because their friends were all doing it, because the friends were always in our house. Because
Hmm.
they, for whatever reasons, at home, they'd live in our house. So of course I
Yeah,
saw what they were all doing. I thought, I know my kids are going to be looking into it. So I just
absolutely.
make sure that I talk to them and try and, do it sensibly.
As
Mm.
a parent, it's up to us to guide and support our children. Sometimes we can be a little bit overprotective. Sometimes, you know, but if your child can come and speak to you um, about what they're going through, or, you know,
Yeah.
I want to try a drink or I want to try
Mm-hmm.
a cigarette,
Mm-hmm.
they have to learn their own lessons in life.
I know they do. I know they do. I totally agree on that one. Yeah. And I found that very hard. I keep
Mm,
interfering.
mm,
And they keep saying,
mm,
stop interfering, mother. And I'm like, Oh, well, somebody said to me, be a helicopter above them. And then
Yeah,
when they
yeah.
need you, come down. But if they don't need you, stay a helicopter. And I'm like that all the time.
Up and
Down,
down.
down,
Yeah.
down.
Mhm. Mhm.
Interfere, interfere. I've got to stop it. But I just can't help myself. Terrible.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Yeah, it's horrible. So yeah, moving forward, obviously you carried on sort of what in your 20s, 30s drinking. What led you
Yeah.
into sort of drinking more and more to led you to sort of being an alcoholic? What led that?
Uh, so when I was 18, 19, 20, 21, I was working, I had more money,
Mm-hmm.
so I could, um, sorry, the dog's just playing with me now.
Oh, that's
Um,
okay.
Bless her. So I could go out, but I was normal because everyone else was drinking.
Mm,
But what people
of
didn't
course.
know was that I was having a drink before I went out. I was the last one at the party, and my drinking got worse and worse until
Yeah,
you start isolating yourself.
yeah,
And I drank for 26 years. I did
yeah,
some bad things. I
yeah.
lost my
Same as
license.
me.
I was in cells overnight. I had rubbish relationships, and it
Mm,
all boils down to the trauma of my childhood. And
yeah.
I stopped drinking and took that step in 2010.
Wow. And how did you find your first steps? What did you do? Did you take yourself into rehab? What did you do? How did you start going into sobriety?
I went into rehab in 2010
You
because
took yourself there.
well, I had faced my rock bottom and I was working for a law firm in Croydon,
Mm,
working in a personal injury department. So I managed half the department.
mm,
And my drinking, I'd had Grace. Grace was 2.5.
mm,
I'd gone back to work. I wasn't working full time. My partner at the time started policing my drinking. So he had my cash card, my car keys, my house keys. So
hmm.
I couldn't do anything.
You're trapped.
He made my lunch. And that's what happens, unfortunately, with
Mm,
addicts is we end up having a drinking or drug taking
mm,
um, policed,
mm,
so we don't have availability to a
hmm.
card to drive somewhere or
Yeah,
to a cash card, to get drink. So I started borrowing money off people at work. And
yeah.
you know what it's like? It's like a fiver for a sandwich and a drink and a packet of
Oh,
crisps.
yeah, yeah.
So I borrowed two fivers one day, um, and went out and bought two half bottles of vodka, drunk them like lemonade within the hour. Don't remember going back to the office, but I blacked out at my desk and
Oh,
I
honey.
woke up on my patio with a cigarette burning that had burnt right down, lying there,
And that
looking
could have been in
back.
your house.
Yeah, well, I was in my house
Mm,
looking back, and my partner was standing there with my daughter,
mm,
who was 2.5, just shaking his head, looking at me, going, "You need to do something about this." And within
mm.
13 days, I was in rehab in Spain.
In Spain. Why did you go to
Mm.
Spain? Not
Because
English.
um, at that time, I didn't think I would be able to do it in this country. I thought I'd probably jump over the wall, go to
Mm.
the nearest supermarket and steal it if I had to.
Yeah, yeah, good idea. Then you
And
went over
being
there.
in Spain, yeah, being in Spain, I was in the middle of nowhere, the Spanish countryside, and I felt secure being there. I
Mm,
felt I couldn't just leave and walk down the
mm,
road because where was
mm.
I going to go?
Yeah, yeah, you wouldn't know where to go. Get
That's right.
lost.
And if Yeah, and if I'd have been in this country, all knowing, all
Mm,
seeing, everything's familiar. You know where Sainsbury's is, you know where Tesco's is, you
mm.
know. Um,
I should have
so
thought
yeah,
about that. I went to I went to the one in Southend. Do you know the one in Southend? The
I don't.
lighthouse? No.
Oh, I
Um,
don't know. I've heard of it
yeah.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I went to that one. It was absolutely fantastic. I learned so much there. I was going to say, like, what did you learn from it? Because I found all the psychology side of it absolutely fantastic. And as you said, the childhood trauma, because I had
Mm,
childhood trauma as well.
mm,
And then, as you say, you drink as you're a teenager, then you drink as an adult, and then you have your children and you're partying, you meet other parents and you meet other children, so they're all coming in the house, other parents partying with the other parents. And then
Mm,
one day, my daughter said to me, "You're just getting nasty now, Mum. You're not even funny. You're nasty. You're being horrible." And that was me into rehab. I took myself into rehab.
mm,
Absolutely. But I learnt so much. What,
mhm.
how did you find it?
Well, I drank at the airport, so
Yeah,
I
I
was
did.
drunk on the
I drank in
plane.
the car.
I
Yeah.
was drunk on the plane. The last drink, the last alcoholic drink I ever had was in Malaga airport toilets.
Wow. Yeah. Everybody
And
does, though. Do you know that? If you speak to everybody, their last drink was just before they got in, whether it be a airport toilet, a car, which
mm,
I did. Yeah.
yeah,
And I talked to the others, and they all did the same.
ah, so so yeah, so it was a 12-step program,
Mm.
which
Yeah.
was for me was good because I like structure. I like what I can see that I'm going to be learning.
Mm.
We had a timetable every day. Um, my light bulb moment was when I got to step 4, and they talk about an inventory of your life and what you went through.
Yeah.
And my
Yeah.
light bulb moment was actually I went through a lot, and I know I have to deal with that, but I had no part to play in what I went through. I
Mm.
couldn't have done anything to change it.
No.
And
No.
that was my light bulb moment.
Yeah,
And
that was mine.
I just sat there going, I wasn't even crying. That's what I'd been doing for 26 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Victim,
Yeah.
and yeah,
I
that was
get
the
that.
light bulb
I
moment for
understand.
me.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was probably my light bulb moment as well. You know,
Mm,
as you say, there was nothing you can do. It was out of your control. It wasn't your fault or anything like that, as you say. It's just that light bulb. Like, oh, okay, yeah. No, you're
mm,
right, isn't it? And then how
yeah,
did you find the rest and
all
how you
good.
came out?
Yeah, I came out in my pink bubble and wanted to save the world, and
Oh,
wanted to tell everyone that I'm sober. I haven't drunk for 28 days,
yeah.
but reality does not work like that. If you're looking for a job,
Mm.
people look at you differently. If you say, "Oh, I'm just out of rehab and I've been sober for 28
Yeah,
days," you
yeah.
won't get the job.
Mm,
So I didn't say I'd been in rehab. I got a job within 3 months. I just
mm.
said I was away in Spain, which I was. I didn't lie.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and that is when the work begins.
Mm,
When you come out, that is when the true work
correct.
begins. When you
Yeah,
work on your trauma, you work on your behaviors. Because I still behaved in not brilliant ways in the
yeah,
15 years,
mm,
well, the 11 years up to my spiritual awakening.
yeah,
And I had to change my behaviors. I had to change my thoughts.
yeah,
And I had to deal with the trauma from my childhood properly.
yeah, yeah. No, you're right. Because I went into therapy at 48 and came out of it at 50, and I
Oh,
learnt
okay.
so much, so
Mm,
much.
mm,
And again, about myself, about my past, about my future. I just learnt so much. It was fabulous. Did you do any
mm.
therapy?
I did a counselling course
Yeah.
with art therapy, and yes, we had to have our own therapy doing that. I I didn't mind therapy,
Mm,
but I hadn't chosen myself yet by then.
mm,
I enjoyed doing the counselling. I enjoyed doing the art therapy and journaling and
mm.
writing about me
Yeah.
and finding out how I was being in that present time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so therapy for me uh didn't didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was it was my own therapy and my own way of dealing things that got me through
Mm.
my trauma. Um, with, as I say, light bulb moment after, like, I wasn't even reading loads of books either. It was almost like I healed myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. No, I totally understand. I was the same. Yeah, I was the same.
Mm,
And probably still so now. As you say, you still go on in life with those what's the word? Those what you've learned. What's the word? Be 50, your words go. Well, mine does.
yeah, that's right. I mean, you do learn by your mistakes, but
Mm,
sometimes you don't. And,
mm,
it took me 11 years to deal with my trauma. 11 years,
mm,
so it was a long time. But when
mm,
I got there.
mm.
And I can now share my experience, strength, and
Yeah,
hope with
yeah.
others.
And I
But
love that.
yeah, but for me to be able to do it with some background knowledge and, the education is why I'm doing the studying, so
Mm.
I can be more um
Tell
sort of
me.
out
Yeah,
there
tell
as
me
a
about that.
therapist. Well, it's about the body keeping the score, brain, mind, and body in the healing of trauma.
Yeah,
Um, so it's just about looking at tools and techniques.
yeah.
Well, bilateral stimulation,
Mm.
attachment formed, which is resource tapping.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so it can
okay.
be,
My husband's teaching me that.
yeah, so it can be tapping, it can be visual,
Yeah.
EDMR, which is left to right eye movements, and it can also be audio sound, where you have a sound in your left ear, right ear, and then sound in your left ear, and it goes like that. And
Hmm.
it's where the body deregulates the nervous system
Oh,
and
okay.
makes you de-stress, but it does it in the present moment so that you can go on and do that
Yeah,
presentation. So you can go on and do that podcast if you're
yeah,
feeling a bit nervous. You can go on and bypass that trigger.
yeah.
If you're having one in addiction. So that's what it's all about. And then the other side of it, that's sort of the psychology side of it, and then the healing of the trauma and talking about the trauma and
Mm.
asking the right questions, because sometimes people say they don't have any trauma.
Yeah, yeah.
I spoke to someone the other day. No, I haven't had any trauma. I haven't had anything.
Hmm.
And in actual fact, she was bullied at school.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And that
And,
is a trauma. It's a
that's
huge
right. That's a
trauma.
traumatic event. And then you start to dig deeper and people go, oh, okay, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
then this happened. So that's what it's all about. Just digging deeper, opening that can of worms and
Mm.
being able to heal from the
Asking
bottom of
the
the
open
can up.
questions, open,
Yeah.
open questions, so they can literally, or so they can literally open up to you and tell you exactly what's going on, and you find out. Yeah, yeah.
And normally it's when you're doing that sort of counseling, therapy work, coaching, whatever you want to
Mm,
call it,
mm,
um, we all have the solution inside us.
mm. I
We all have
agree.
the solution, and a lot of counseling now is person centered.
Hmm.
So you don't get counselors saying, well, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, and you should be
Yeah.
doing the other. The answer comes from the client. The
Yes.
answer
Yeah.
comes from within the client, and because then they realize what they have to do.
That was my
And
therapy. And sometimes he'd go, so, well, no, why do you think that? And I'd be going, oh, oh, how will I
yeah,
would do
that's
that?
right.
That's really
So
makes sense. But yeah,
mm.
so that was me. So that's amazing. And how long's the course?
It can be anything from I'll probably have it finished by the end of the year, but you can do it from
Great.
anything from 3 months. Apparently,
Yeah.
someone has done it in 3 months to 2 years.
Ah, okay. So it's down
Um,
to you to sort of like keep like working,
yeah,
whether it be 4 hours a day or whether it
yeah,
be an hour a day. Right.
yeah,
Okay. I get it. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And so going back to positive thinking, my way of thinking, which is obviously your way of thinking because of what you just said, I always think there's an answer in you. So if basically you're saying to yourself, "Oh, I can't pay that bill, and the bill's just come in, and it's like £50. I haven't got £50." No, 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 no. There's always a solution. Phone them up.
yeah,
Get
yeah,
that.
definitely.
Speak to them. And they will help you. And then you'll come off the phone and you'll think, "Ah, okay. I feel more positive now. I feel better." There's always
Yeah,
something, isn't there?
yeah. If you take action, if you don't ask, you don't get. It'll always be a yes or a no. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a 50% chance of it being a yes. You can
Yeah.
stop. You don't have to pay that bill this month. You can pay
Yep.
half this month and half next month.
Mm-hmm.
So like yeah, and we do have the solution inside of ourselves,
Yeah,
and
we do.
thinking every day. Something might go wrong, but I've got a roof over my head and I've got food in my fridge.
Yes. Yes. And that's my thoughts exactly. Yeah,
Mm.
I just think like you, basically. I think we've
Mm.
been through quite a lot that's similar, to be honest. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, Alison, it's been lovely to have you today. Can you
Oh,
add
my pleasure.
anything? Can you add anything to what we've been talking about?
I just think
Yeah,
anyone, anyone of any age, but
yeah.
especially us over 50, think about what your purpose is,
Mm-hmm.
value that purpose,
Mm-hmm.
look at what you value in life to reach that purpose.
Yeah,
You know, do
yeah.
you value yourself enough to go for it? What do you value in life?
Mm.
Especially if your kids have flown the nest and you're
Yeah,
sitting there in your house thinking, okay, well, what do I value?
yeah,
What do I want to go forth and do with that? Do I value my life enough to go traveling for a year?
yeah,
Do I value uh, my career enough to give it up and do something completely different?
yeah.
And look at what purpose do you want to do something different? And
Do it.
yeah, but
Action
don't,
it.
yeah, that's right. But think about it before, write down what you're going to do to get there.
Yes, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Nail on the head. How's Grace feeling about it all?
She's great.
Yeah.
I
So
think
obviously she's been through a lot since she was two, obviously. So how's she found it now when she looks back?
Well, she does have ADHD and Tourette's, so she
Right.
has anxiety. And I think, when I gave up drinking, she was two and
Mm,
a half. Dad and I split up.
yeah,
We didn't argue a lot when she was young. We did, sort of maybe after COVID, we argued about a few things, and I think that has affected her slightly. And
yeah,
also myself not having a great childhood, I think I've overcompensated for that.
yeah, yeah.
So.
Me
Uh,
too.
yeah, and I think she herself has a counselor. She has SEND support at college,
Oh, good.
and I think she needs to talk to me about a few things. And she said she'll talk to me when she's ready, and that's good.
Good.
And I'm
And
happy
that's
to
all you
listen to
want.
that.
That's all you need, isn't it?
That's right,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. Oh, love her. So that's absolutely wonderful, to be honest. At least she will come to you eventually. My son
Yeah.
says that, to be honest. I'll talk to
Hmm.
you when I want to talk to you. I need to talk to you. You're like, okay, I'll shut up for a minute then. My
That's right.
helicopter.
Yeah, you've got to. It's like
I'll rise
for
above it for the minute.
yeah, yeah. You've got to let them get on with their lives and
Yeah,
learn from
learn
everything
from
they
my
do
mistakes.
positively. Well,
Yeah,
learn from things that they do positively, learn from the things that they didn't do that well, so they'll do it better next time. So it's all
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree. Oh, it's really been lovely chatting to you. And as I said, the similarity has been amazing. It's been
Yeah.
really nice chatting to you because I think, again, sort of talking to you has sort of gone, oh, actually, yeah, no, I should, concentrate a bit more on that. And
Hmm.
yeah, I just think I would like to do things. I've got to write them all down and see where I can get them and how I can get there.
Yeah. And why not? You only have
Yeah.
one life, Victoria.
I know, I say that. Live it today. Don't think
Yeah.
about yesterday. Don't think about tomorrow. You've got to do it today. My husband's a worrier bug, right? But
Mm.
he worries about being worrier.
Mm.
He's that bad.
No, I get that. I get that.
Yeah, I know. And so again, I'm very positive with him. So of
Mm.
course we balance out quite nicely because I'm
I bet
probably
you
maybe too positive, maybe. And like, yeah, we can do this. Yeah, let's do it.
Mm.
Yeah, let's spend money and do this. And he's
Mm.
like, well, no, we haven't got it actually. Calm down.
Yeah. Well,
Calm
yeah.
down, love.
Maybe you're just a little bit impulsive.
I am. I
Yeah.
so am.
Yeah, so you think it's positivity, which it is, it's good, but I'm a little bit impulsive. If I think of
Yeah,
something, I might just go, I'm going to do it.
I
Um,
am.
but I rein myself back now. I go, no, I
Yeah,
can't do everything. I can't do it.
yeah.
So I
He
rein
reins
myself
me
back.
back.
Yeah.
He reins me
So
back.
so you've got him to rein you back, and I rein myself
Absolutely.
back.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And are you dating or anything at the minute?
No,
Got a partner?
no.
Bloody hell. So what are you going to do about that? Do you want somebody in your life?
I
No.
I love myself. Well, I don't mind. My heart's open,
Mm.
but I
If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't, sort of thing.
yeah, I don't need a male in my life it doesn't define who I
No,
am.
no, of course
Uh,
not. And it will
and
never will. I can tell that, Alison.
no, and I have my boundaries in place. No
Mm.
one can come
Good.
in and, you know, take away take away how much I love myself. If they don't
Yeah.
love me as much as I love myself,
See ya.
then there's no point in them being there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure it'll happen. I might meet someone. If I don't, I don't. It's not the end of my world.
You need somebody who travels a lot.
Well,
And he
great.
can whisk you away to
Yeah,
all these countries around the world, maybe on a cruise or
absolutely.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
I know, wouldn't that be lovely? Well,
Yeah.
look, Alison, thank you very much for being honest and open. What a story, and what a life still unfolding. To
Mm,
anyone listening today, absolutely. To anyone listening today, if you're in your 50s and wondering what now, you're not alone. Whether you're rediscovering travel, starting again, dealing with menopause, or facing major life changes, this is your time. Until next time, keep growing, keep glowing, and always keep blooming.